The following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board meeting, May 25th, 2021.
Hey, cool, we can see you.
Hey, nice. Scott Lee, I live in Las Vegas currently. I'm excited to move into White Pine County very soon.
Oh, right on.
All right. So I wanted to sit in. I thought I would just be observing the meeting. Very cool that I get a chance to talk to y'all. I like Ely, moving up there, and I saw that y'all are building a bunch of mountain bike parks, and that ski lift is a potential thing going in. And just wanted to kind of hear how that's going and see if I can be any part of the solution. Like I'd like to start some businesses in the area, so I figured this would be a great place to sit in and hear like how that could be advantageous to both of us. You know, like I'd like to start a whiskey brand. I'd like to start a cafe, and if there's developments going in, I think that would be like great if like we were developing like a new downtown area, or Mount Wilson was the best location for that kind of thing, or you know. So I don't know anything about what y'all are up to. I just kind of was here to learn.
Cool. Well, I think you know, you're gonna get a little snippet of just what we've got going on like this month in a recap, but next time you're in town, let's set up a time to get together and talk, because there is so much going on here that you're truly only going to get a snapshot of really all the stuff that's happening. So stoked you're moving up. We are definitely building a ton of mountain bike trails. Recreation is like the top focus, and that was a full page with all of our great new images from Beta MTB and everything like that. So that ad's going to be in the summer guide. We got a grant for Mountain Bike Marketing Blitz, and so we've been doing social media posts. Again, everything that was listed in that poster, from each specific trail system, to the events, to the two itineraries, the Northern Nevada itinerary, the Southern Nevada itinerary, the mountain bike challenge that we were doing. All of those were boosted on social media. We took out ads in Adventure Sports Journal. We've been doing a project with Free Hub Magazine that was covered under that one, so we'll have an article in that. So essentially, we've just been pumping the mountain biking, and that was about an $8,000 grant that we got, and that money spent pretty quick. We also took advantage with Fierce Tears and Beers and Race the Rails. Cycle West or Cycle Utah does poster distribution to all of the bike shops in certain geographic areas. And so because of this grant money, we were able to distribute Fierce Tears and Beers posters and Race the Rails posters to pretty much the entire state of Utah, and then Northern California, Tahoe, all the way to the Bay. So that was, and then Las Vegas and things like that. So that was essentially that grant. And then our final one was special events marketing, and that has been all of the posters that we've been designing for all of the upcoming events we're going to talk about, as well as the horse race blitz that we're going to be putting out, because we just started working with the horse races to get their poster and everything dealt with. So those are kind of the grants that I'm working on. I know Main Street has an entire slew of grants that they're working on right now in regards to murals, the 50 Fabulous Places in White Pine County. I'm sure there's a ton of them. So, but those are the ones that I'm specifically working on. Is there any questions? All right.
And there will be another ground cycle coming up this summer.
Yes, so Travel Nevada will be releasing another grant cycle. And then Travel Nevada also has a new program that is a destination development program that they're kind of doing in lieu of their capital grant that they usually did once a year. And so we're going to apply for this one when it becomes available. But what it is Travel Nevada essentially adopts your destination specifically, and the resources, the connections that they have throughout the entire country, from you know, companies that will come in and analyze your operations, to your assets, to your relationships, your partnerships, all of that, and essentially come up with a master plan of how to move your community forward from a tourism standpoint. I think we have a lot of things in place that we've been working on for the last 3 years. So when that opens up, we're gonna have one heck of a proposal to the state of Nevada to, look at White Pine County and Ely for their destination development grant.
Any questions? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to item N, discussion only, update on public art, mural refreshing, and new murals to be completed.
All right, well, that's me again. So we did have 2 murals refreshed, and the first one that was done is what we call the ghost mural, and that's the one on the side of, what's the name of that hall?
Masonic.
The Masonic Hall downtown. It was a number of painted signs from throughout kind of the decades as that building was different stores. It was starting to look a little bit faded, so what the artist did is came in, touched up some of the colors, and then went ahead and put a protective seal over it to make sure that it was going to last a lot longer than it did originally. They also did the same thing with the mural, the Basque Sheepherder mural that was on the side of the Cruise Inn car wash. There was a bunch of road salts and soap and things like that had splashed up on it, so cleaned that off, touched up the paint, and then went ahead and put a sealant on top of that one as well. So those were the 2 murals that got refreshed this fiscal year. Working with the town of Baker on a mural that they're doing on one of their new businesses downtown. It's going to be an homage to Dark Skies, the Bristlecone Pines, as well as the Native American history there. So they've got a sketch of that, and it'll pretty much be in downtown. And of course, Baker's very artsy to begin with, so it's kind of done in that plein air style, very flowy, kind of whimsical design. The town of McGill, I've been working with them. This is again coming out of just this fiscal year's art budget. The town of McGill, I've been trying to come up with locations and topics for their mural up there. The last council meeting that they had, they went ahead and decided on a location on the new newly reopened Pony Express gas station on the north end of town. So this is one of the first walls you see when you're traveling in from Salt Lake or Elko or anything on 93. And since it's the Pony Express gas station, they want to do something Pony Express themed on that one. They are completely jazzed up. They're already looking at their next wall. I think what we're going to do for the next one with them is kind of in honor of like their baseball history and legacy that they have up there. That is the other thing that they are like so super proud of, as they should be. And so we're working, once the Pony Express mural's done, on getting kind of a turn back the clock 40s and 30s baseball history mural. For the ones that are coming in downtown Ely, we've got on, what's it called? A Touch of Class salon. It shares the parking lot with Economy Drug. The wall on Economy Drug is the Cherry Creek Hot Spring and Laundry mural. Well,
the one with the kid peeing.
The one with the kid peeing on the wall. So directly across from that is a Fuller O'Brien paint mural right now, but it's chipping and it looks pretty bad. We're working with Eric Burke, who is a world-renowned artist. He's out of Reno, good friend of mine, but he does really amazing, colorful, realistic type murals, and he's going to be doing one on the powwow. And so we're working with the Ely Shoshone tribe to do a nice big one there. We're going to have it done before the powwow at the end of July, and so we'll do a ribbon cutting, and then we've also got something planned down at the Art Bank for a reception for Jack Malott, who is a native artist who's from Duckwater, so might as well be a local, but the Ely Art Bank actually has the largest collection of Jack Malott paintings from anywhere else in the state. So we're going to tie in the mural, we're going to tie in that exhibit during the powwow, which is July 30th to August 1st. On Desert Rose Crafts, on the west-facing wall, it's a pretty large, uninterrupted wall. We're going to be doing a mural, and that's David Ozuna, who we're working with on that one. And he's the guy who's been doing all the mural refreshing. Well, this is going to be an original, and it's going to be displaying, or at least like the topic will be the 1919 military convoy that came across the Lincoln Highway after World War I was done. And that essentially was the first cross-country trip, big one for the completion of the Lincoln Highway, which of course ran right through Ely. And so we're pulling old photos, images. It's going to be all those World War I machines, tanks, trucks, uniforms, things like that going across the building. And so it'll be talking about the convoy. And then the third one is going to be Dr. Arnoldson's building. It's right there in Midtown on the Bend. Whitewashed cinder block building in very good shape. And we're going to have Jamie Vinsek, who did all of our 3D murals last year. She's coming out and doing kind of a morning wildlife scene, something that you would see maybe on Success, where you would have, a windmill pump, pumping water into a trough, elk, deer, all of the animals that are up there, aspens, things like that. And that was actually a request of Dr. Arnoldson. It was a very specific memory that he had from his childhood, and when we discuss it, it seems like everybody who grew up in White Pine County has that moment in the morning where you poke your head out of the tent, maybe on a camping trip or a hunting trip, where it's just got that magical light, that mist, all the wildlife around. So really excited about that one, and that's going to wrap around the front and the side of that building. So that's going to be huge. That literally is going to finish this fiscal year, but in the budget that you just approved for next year is $15,000 for more public art. So again, per our strategic plan, the goal is to refresh 2 murals every year that we have, put at least 1 new mural in, and then if there's grant money, we're going after grant money for more murals. So thankfully the Main Street, Nevada Main Street program opened up a grant cycle specifically for murals and monuments, and the White Pine Main Street Association received $30,000 to pursue the 3 of those grants, or 3 of those murals. So yeah, so that's what's going on with our public art.
That's right.
Any questions? Trying to finish up the budget year.
Oh yeah.
With a lot of color, so thank you very much. All right, item number O, discussion only. Surely you covered it all, but it's your executive director's report. Everybody want to take a breath?
You know what, I'm sick of hearing my own voice right now, so I'm gonna let Errol do the marketing report, and then I'll come back and I'll just tie up some of the loose ends with my director's report.
Oh, hi. Want to make sure everybody can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Scott. All right. All right. Well, I'm just going to get right into it with this month's report. As always, start with Facebook. So on Facebook, we were up 81 followers. So that puts us at 5,891 followers on Facebook. Our page views were up 23%. Our page likes were up 13%. Post reach was up 40%, post engagement was up 96%, and our page followers with the 81 was up 5%. Facebook was up, no, not Facebook, sorry. Instagram was up 25 new followers, so that puts us at 2,470 followers on Instagram. Twitter, we're now at 363 followers. Moving on to our targeted digital through our PR, which is Reach Local. I just want to say that we've finished out a couple of our ads that we were running with them, so our Facebook ads and our site retargeting campaigns. So looking at our display targeting now and looking at search retargeting, which we've just had, so this is the type of marketing that uses keywords that people have entered into Google and they get a display ad of us, basically. And that received 121.72 impressions, 134 clicks, and a click-through rate of 0.11%, which is well above average, which is still 0.06%. Our search engine marketing received 5,436 impressions and 385 clicks, and we still have our targeted YouTube ads, and those received 40,500 impressions and a total of 17,099 views. Moving on to the website, our top 5 pages this month was the homepage, login, the Nevada Open Road Challenge, which was this past month, which went on. I think everybody was happy to have it, and I think it was a success. Our dining page, and then also the Silver State Classic Challenge, which is always good to see. So that means all the people who were looking at the Nevada Open Road Challenge are already looking into the Silver State Classic Challenge in September. As you can see, our new versus returning visitors, we had 86% new visitors and 14% returning. And on the device breakdown, you can see that mobile is starting to go up again over half, with 61% of people looking at our site on their mobile devices, so cell phones. Our sessions were up 29% and our page views up 26%. Moving on to just some other updates, so stuff that's happening this month. It's good to see we have a lot of events actually happening, especially for the summer season. So if anyone wants to take note, the Silver Valley Trapskeepy Target Club is having their fun shoot. Yep, Kyle's got the poster right there. That will be June 5th. Extra $40. Fierce Tears and Beers is June 12th. Thank you, Kyle. Also happening June 12th is the Bristlecone Bowman 3D archery shoot, and that will be the 12th and 13th. And then this year, Jamie Jordan and White Pine Productions, instead of having a full rodeo, they're having a rodeo-esque. It's going to be just like a rodeo, except it's going to be motocross. So you can see Kyle holding up the poster there, and we're looking forward to that. Basically, just a motocross event in place of the rodeo. And then we're going to have the Ely Amateur Golf Tournament, which is the 19th and 20th. And then happening the same weekend, of course, is the White Pine Public Museum's Rock Gem and the Bristlecone Bricks and Train Show, which is happening at the Freight Barn. They're both happening the same weekend, so once you view some model Lego trains at the railroad after a train ride, you can head right over to the White Pine Public Museum and get some rocks. Also, I just want to add that this month, just last weekend, we had our Sagebrush Social Disc Golf Tournament at the new Ward Mountain Disc Golf Course, and I think it's safe to say it was a success. Kyle can actually give a more in-depth and technical review of disc golf and the tournament, but I think it went pretty well. We got some great new marketing shots, and the disc golf group, that's a good group. They definitely don't let the up and downs of weather get them down. They all had a great time. They all have sniffling, it's fine. And then also I just wanted to add, so Lehman Caves is officially open after over a year of being closed because of the pandemic. So schedule your tours, and you can schedule tours up to 30 days in advance.
Actually, you can only
That's it for me, if
schedule them
anybody has any questions.
starting 30 days in advance, not up to. So you go on exactly 30 days ahead. You have to go to recreation.gov, and they're very limited. So, if you want to see it a month from now, you have to get right on. It's like important and popular concert tickets. So starting the 30 days ahead, and they sell out that day.
Yep, so 30 days in advance, so, if you're wanting the cave tour 15 days from now, that's not possible. You gotta do 30 days from now.
Sorry.
Thank
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, thank you, Errol, and Ian pointed out a pretty important statistic. Ian, could you give that again for your YouTube?
Yeah, your YouTube is getting a 40% click-through rate, man. That's, like, YouTube ads is like less than 2%, like 0.02% click-through rate is what we expect, so that's great.
Well, and here's the beauty of Reach Local. So like Errol said, we had 5 campaigns running through them, and we went ahead and we closed out the Facebook retargeting campaign because we do quite a bit of marketing on Facebook already. We felt it was kind of redundant. It wasn't getting exceptional. It wasn't doing bad, but it certainly, we could have put our money somewhere else. And then there was another display ad that, again, we kind of felt it was a little bit redundant. So what we did with Reach Local is we condensed it into our 3 most successful ad campaigns. So the search retargeting, the keyword, and then the YouTube. And because of all of the footage that we got through the Beta MTB bike shoot, as well as, we did this video on YouTube 2 years ago. And so we've sent in all new content of the train, new content of everything that we've got. And so we're refreshing that YouTube video. And I'll tell you what, man, there's nobody else I know that's advertising on YouTube that has 45% view rate. Even Reach Local is like, we use you guys as an example of how this can actually work if it's done right. So, you know, right messaging, right visuals, right audience, and it's working. The nice thing is though with Reach Local is we've condensed it down into just our most successful. The expense has gone down and the success rate will stay up high.
So you have future videos that you're scheduling?
It's all the raw footage from, so when we showed the big beta MTV destination video, we got all of the individual shots for that. So they're splicing that all together for us now, and we'll have that to show.
Okay, and plus what we're filming though, coming up, new filming.
Oh, yeah, then-
Videography.
Yeah, and so and then we've got, you know, a videographer coming out for the 4th of July weekend. I just confirmed a photographer for the 4th of July weekend. So won't affect the YouTube ad, but it certainly will be a continuation of all the great content that we've got. And Scott, I don't know if you've gone onto our YouTube channel to check out all of the videos that we've done, but go to you know, White Pine County Tour and Rec, and just go to the outdoor page and just pour yourself a glass of wine or a beer and just enjoy. So.
I've already sent links to my brother in Colorado and my buddy in Montana. I've sent links to the YouTube videos.
Right on, right on.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
any others? We've got the marketing and we've done, there's an update on facilities, I believe, is what you're.
Yeah, so just to kind of fill in the gaps there, Errol, thank you for the report and the great job doing the marketing. From a facility standpoint, we're still working on the backroom technology upgrades. Again, we recognized a while ago that virtual conferences were going to be here to stay. We've been an outpost for a couple conferences here in this room where we did upgrade the technology a while ago, but we've got the 3 breakout rooms in the back, and so we're going to be putting in the same big screen TVs. We've already got the sound system installed back there. The nice thing is that they can be run independently, so you can have 3 different things going on when the dividers are separating the rooms, or we can actually open up the rooms and we can sync all 3 TVs. And so there can be one presenter, and then everybody sees the same thing and hears the same thing in the rooms. Because we had to cut holes in the walls to go ahead and run the wires and things like that, we are gonna be repainting those rooms. And so we're right now working on the colors and what we're gonna do with that, but it's gonna essentially take a pretty olive khaki drab room and make it as visually appealing as what we did in the White Pine room. And then, you know, it'll be a better experience for the people that are there, but then will certainly be a place where we can do virtual conferences from here on out. Quick update, we did open up our capital improvement and outdoor recreation grants. And so we have been getting some proposals in for that. Usually they come in a little bit closer to the deadline. But the deadline to get those grant proposals in is June 11th, and then we'll have that compiled, and then the board will go over those in the June meeting and go ahead and award the capital improvement and outdoor recreation facilities. Again, they have to do something with tourism or tourism related, but you know, there's certainly not a lack of need for capital improvements in the community. The Trails kiosk that was part of the Main Street project, that is the 3-panel kiosk that is across from Sports World in the lot where Hunters is. All of them are up. Again, Rec Brothers did a great job creating the space with their curbing and the rocks and things like that. The maps are done and printed, and we are trying to figure out the best way possible to go ahead and put them into the kiosk. We've got a big map for our non-motorized trail system, so that would be our hiking and mountain biking. And then we've got a big map for our motorized trail system, so that would be the OHV and all the dirt bike stuff. With all the trail expansion that's going on over the next 10 years between the 30 miles up on Ward Mountain and the 20 miles over on Garnet Hill, the non-motorized map has been printed on a really nice paper because it's going to be continued to be updated year after year as trails come online. And then once both of those projects are done, we'll go ahead and print it out on a nice piece of metal, and it'll look good from there on out. So you will see maps coming up here pretty soon in the Trails kiosk. Went over Reach Local already. Tomorrow I'm going out actually with John Miller, who's the recreation manager for the Bureau of Land Management. He was who I worked with to get the disc golf course done. Outdoors Nevada, which is a PBS publication on different outdoor activities throughout the state of Nevada, caught wind that we have a new disc golf course. They reached out to BLM, and so they are coming out tomorrow to shoot an entire episode on the course, the process, what is disc golf, and even though there are significantly more courses over in the Reno Tahoe area, they chose us to showcase our course. So
Wow.
thankfully the course has been cleaned up for the tournament last weekend. All the snow should be melted off and the wildflowers should be popping again, so it should look nice and green for TV, but I'll be doing that one tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So that's kind of a really cool project. And then we're wrapping up a project with Free Hub Magazine, which is a mountain bike publication. One of the only remaining ones left in print. They were regarded in the same conversation as Bike Magazine when it came to photography and destination and articles and things like that. Again, we were introduced through East River Publications. The photographer was out last week, got a lot of really good images. Working with the writer, and the spin on that is going to be about how Ely and White Pine County is the model for trail development and expansion in the state. When they went around to the rest of the state of Nevada, even though there's places that have some pretty high profile trails, those trail builders are running into roadblocks with their city and county commissioners, they're running into roadblocks with their land managers, they're running into roadblocks with just urban sprawl in general, choking out potential trail systems, where that's not the case in White Pine County. We don't have any of those issues right now. We've got the plan, we've got the support, the land managers are on board, the community's on board, and the money is starting to come in. So we're gonna be painted in a really great light. And I find that to be the honor when a magazine like this puts it out, of being like, if you want to be a destination, look at what Ely's doing and follow their lead. So
That's huge.
thank you for everybody who has been working for way longer than I've even been in town to make that happen. And then I'm also working with IMBA, which is the International Mountain Bike Association. They have a podcast called Trail Effects, and I was invited on to do a podcast with them to talk about all the stuff that's going on in Ely, trail development wise, things like that. So again, a ton of great recognition from the industry for what we're doing out here in regards to mountain biking and trail development.
Rad.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Take a breath. Yes, exactly. All right, we'll move to old business, discussion only, board member reports. Ian, do you have a report or anything to add?
Yeah, heard what I had to say so far.
All right, well, thank you for your work on that. Marietta?
Well, lots of exciting things going on with horse races. I'm happy to report that we have 91 stalls reserved. That's outstanding for this month, since the races are not taking place until August 20th, 21st, and 22nd. I emailed Kyle today the data for the 3-day event card and the poster mailer, which Jade will be designing for us. I'll be working on an article next year for the Ely Times, including board members, so that they can give their input as well. Gave Dee Dee Sandoval, our treasurer, all the sponsor billings yesterday, for billings to our sponsors. We actually have 2 sponsors that actually have paid their money right now. They've been putting the money in early without even getting the billings.
Wow.
That's really incredible. Mailed out race sponsor checks to the following: Canyon Breeze, which is Beaver, Utah. Wyoming Downs, for the very first time, has allowed us to actually do a sponsor in Evanston, Wyoming. That's very big for us. Richfield Racing in Utah. Pocatello Downs, first time in Idaho. Farron County Racing in Utah, and Utah Quarter Horse Association. Our condition book is done. It's on Facebook, it's on the internet, and a mailing was completed. It was sent out to owners, trainers, and jockeys, some of who do not use the internet at all. So this is very, very exciting. I just can't tell you how thrilled we are with what's going on. We have a great board, they're very supportive, and we're looking forward to a wonderful event.
Thank you. Brian, do you have an update?
I want to say thanks to Marietta for getting all that together with horse races. It's great to coming back full this year. And the same to Ian with the ski resort proposal. Of all the years I've heard people propose ski resorts, this is the first logical one in the right location and actually has a business plan, so that's great. And I'm working on another 4 miles of trail right now. I've been up for like 3 weeks flagging it. We need to get there and have full support from the Forest Service to kind of repurpose Fears, Tears, and Beers race course so we can handle more participants. We have over 230, I think, right now. We capped it at 200, but we brought in some e-bikers to kind of do an experiment to see how that goes. And we're hoping maybe with the new course, we could have 300 next year, which will huge amount of people come immediately from
That'd be outstanding, thank you very much, and again, diversifying our economy. How many years has Fears, Cheers, and Beers been running, Brian?
It's 16 this year. You forget how many years it has been, but I'm pretty sure we're right around 16. A lot of years. It's the oldest enduro mountain bike race in North America. And I think it's becoming one of the more popular ones now, so.
Great, obviously, so thank you very much. Okay, for my report, I'd just like to talk about agenda items for next month. And I'd like to put on there that we need to have an MOU drawn up with the White Pine Museum so that we, for the amount that we budget for them, that we have a clear understanding, and so do they, that exactly what it is. And then we'll bring back those 2 items as far as the approval of the interlocal agreement, and I'd like to see that before we address it, and then the volunteer services agreement with the Chamber of Commerce. So those 3 items, and then a written update on the strategic plan that we need to go through because so much has changed since we reviewed again, but it needs to be a written update since it's a half year. And then we'll be working on the policy manual update with Tim Bunch as far as the new things that are coming on. And we may be a little bit early with the legislation, but we'll have anticipation. So I believe that's for everything that I have for next meeting. Any other input as far as agenda items, board members? All right, well, thank you. All right, we're now at item 6, public comment. Is there any public comment on Zoom? All right, we'll have public comment. Mr. Cameron, thank you for coming.
Hi, last week, Edie was host to the Pony Express Territory meeting at the Renaissance Village, and we had legislative officers. And we finally had a gentleman speak up. Kyle is now new vice president of Pony Express Territory, and I congratulate him.
Thank you.
And
Happy to play more of a role in that.
yes, I think we're thinking on the same lines on other items too, so.
That's great, well, thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thanks very much, Wayne. Any other public comment in the room? Mr. Chachis, do you have anything?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Madam Chairman, over the last several months, I've given requests for public information. I've yet to receive that. I'm still concerned about the center walkway not being put back in the parking area over here. Again, it does not meet minimum ADA requirements. New construction, it must meet federal ADA regulations. I also have not received anything in regards to the community choir bringing back the money you gave for pigeon control. Again, it was a private entity, not a public building. You can't do that. That money needs to come back. Also, I asked about the Nevada Northern Railway. They have not given any reports that I've seen, or that I've seen presented at this board, how they're spending the $240,000 of room tax monies. They don't operate under the Nevada Open Meeting Law, and they need to do that, or you need to cut them off. Recently, at a city council meeting, they asked the city attorney if the tree board and the animal control board needed to be under the Nevada Open Meeting Law, even though they expended just a few $1,000s. The city attorney opined at that time that when you spend taxpayers' dollars, it needs to be done openly. in an open meeting, under Nevada open meeting law. That goes the same for the railroad, 240,000 or more. I also asked about the, let's see, a joint development agreement with Nevada Northern Railroad. I'd like that addressed by whoever needs to address it. I've asked about how the money at the, that was given to the golf course has been used and what the increase in play. This goes years, nothing yet. I asked about the former director, Mr. Spear, whether he has a license, commercial occasion, home occupation. Still, nothing going on quite some time. I've given you photos of different businesses in this community that I've asked if they've got proper licensing. I've yet to receive any of that. And I got another photo on that. I've seen RVs parked around the community. Are you guys collecting room tax on that? I'd like to know. That's it for now, Madam. The last item is I didn't hear anything in regards to your support for the Heritage Park. You're all familiar with the incident that happened up there with a young teenager and the truck driver. You do not put a park next to a truck stop. You folks need to make a stand.
That's
I want to
3
know where you
minutes.
stand. We've had one incident, now we've got 2.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chachas. And we will adjourn this meeting at this time. Thank you all, and thanks for the great reports.
Absolutely.
Look exciting because it'll just be just a little bit, week before the 4th of July activities. So hopefully all these projects will be wrapped up, but not the ski resort.
Hey Scott, thanks for joining us. You've got my contacts, so go ahead and get a hold of me when you get a chance.
Love it. Hey, and I appreciate y'all having me. Carolyn, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
All right, bye everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, this was a long one. I don't know who was so worried, but I'm not sure how that happened, are you?
Well, once you get me talking, you know.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chachas reporting.